Thank you for coming so much. And my question for you is, why is organizing collectively important to fighting against pessimism that you might sort of encounter if you keep your politics just to sort of the internet and discussions with friends? And we're just asking people to speak for like 5 minutes.
I think that it is completely understandable to feel pessimistic, especially the way that things are nowadays, where it feels like there's so much political inaction from obviously ranging from obviously the Republican Party's like vulturous, parasitic, sometimes bloodthirsty attitudes, all the way to the Democratic Party's, I would say, malicious incompetence or even criminal negligence. So one of the things that has been a saving grace for at least me and numerous other people in my community as well has been seeing the summer of labor, or I guess like what is it technically the spring of labor. There was a lot of labor activism going on, and it's still ongoing. Obviously, there's a massive W for Amazon with Chris Smalls, Starbucks workers unionizing all around the country. And the reason why that is, in my opinion, a hopeful prospect is because it's basically the only mechanism that we have to have some semblance of control, to have some semblance of power in the political sphere, in the most important microcosm, right? Your workplace. You're spending an incredible amount of time there. And if you are made to believe that you have some kind of control over your workplace that you spend 80% of your adult lives in, then you will be able to ultimately create a mechanism of power to force the Democratic Party that would otherwise never listen to you to action. So seeing that and seeing labor organizing all around the country gives me a lot of optimism personally, because I think that one, in the immediate, you get better workplace conditions, you get better pay, hopefully, right? Or at least there's enough empirical evidence that you do get higher pay. You get higher pay even if you're not a unionized workplace as a consequence of unions bargaining collectively. So it's all good. I see no downsides to it across the board. That's my take on it.
Great. Thank you so much, Hasan. No, this is great. And welcome again to your viewers. So we have a couple minutes. Question is for Hasan. Hasan, what do you think? First of all, Hasan, where did you get your shirt? Second of all, Hasan, what do you think particularly visible people on the left, like yourself, can do to support the labor movement, online or offline?
I got the shirt from Ethan Klein, Teddy Fresh, but it's his brand. But which is completely unrelated to the other question. Okay, left celebrities, I feel like is a weird thing to even come to terms with. I mean, you got like Danny DeVito. I guess that's it. Like, there's like, I mean, there are some activists in Hollywood, I would say, but across the board, I think like what left celebrities, I guess, can do, if I even consider myself to be one, I don't know. I would go so far as to just help organizing efforts, uplift them as best as possible, fund them. I mean, this is something that I personally do as much as possible. I try to do it as best as possible, considering that I'm a profoundly fortunate person. I obviously have a gigantic community that also focuses not just on like, memes on the internet and sometimes watching reality television, but also try to do as much like as much leftist agitprop as possible. But there is I do have a gigantic community of people who have either changed their minds about particular things, or have recognized their position, their class position specifically, and have taken efforts in their own lives to do something about it. And I think that's the most meaningful thing that we can do. There are some YDSA chapter presidents in my community as well that were mentioning earlier that they were stoked that I was going to be on this call. But that's pretty much all you can expect from people, I think. And to, I don't know, keep their head down when people are yelling at them for meaningless things, because Ultimately, if you truly have a moral compass and you genuinely believe the things that you say, then it should not matter if people are yelling at you on the internet. So I don't know. It's like a very specific thing for left celebrities. So I don't know how to answer that question at all. I think that it's ultimately meaningless. You either get out of the way, or you try to help as best as you can, oftentimes from behind the scenes as best as you can, and continue doing propaganda and try to urge people to better their lives personally. And one of the most meaningful ways that you can do that is by organizing your workplace.
I think that was a totally coherent answer. Thank you, Hasan. It's a weird position to be in.
No, because like everyone here is super, like, you guys are awesome. Like everyone I'm on the panel with, like you guys are very super serious people. You are actually doing you're doing meaningful change in your immediate vicinity. So like for me, I'm just like can I curse on this?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just a dickhead on the internet. You know what I mean? So it's I shouldn't take up space here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna raise one more question and then we're gonna wrap it up. And so before I ask Charlie a question, I just want to thank you all for taking the evening out to be a part of this. Really encourage you to learn more about the program. The links are being shared, and take part in it. You can do it all just online, so it's really low level commitment. And I can tell you personally, my view is there's never been a more exciting time in my lifetime to be a part of the labor movement, and to be a young person at the center of the labor movement is a dream come true, and about as energizing as anything else. So I really think that you don't want to look back and feel like you should have joined this movement now. So